Check, check. 1, 2. All right. Okay. So, hi, everyone. My name is Wally, a.k.a. DG Wally, a.k.a. Big Daddy Senpai. Thank you for attending my class today because you all want to just learn how to scratch. The first thing before we get started, remember, this is not a party. This is not a turn up. There's like, if I hear shots or anything, please, you have to respect what's going on right now because there's a majority of people here that actually that actually want to learn something. You know what I'm saying? Please take this seriously. Again, I'm doing this for you guys. Like I could easily charge everyone here, but I'm not because I think VR chat's the shit. So I hope you guys really respect what's going on right now. And also, one of the big things is experienced DJs has to be required for this. If you just started DJing, do not scratch. Don't focus on scratching. You have to focus on your transitions. Make them clean. Focus on your music and all that. I'm not trying to gatekeep or anything, but you have to understand if you learn scratching now and you don't even know how to do a basic transition, you're going to turn into a shitty DJ. I'm going to be honest with you. You need to learn how to focus on your transitions first, especially in VR chat. You guys realize there's a lot of people could like just turn this shit off, listen to their Spotify in the middle of your set, and they won't hear anything. So please, if you don't even have the concept of having a basic transition, do not take this class. Let's see. And the last thing, this takes a lot of patience. What I mean by is the 2-click flare itself took me 2 years to learn. Like you're not going to learn this overnight. This is probably going to take you a month, a week, whatever it takes. People are different, and I understand. It's like edibles, you know, it hits people differently. Why am I talking about weed? I don't know. But yes, you need to understand that this takes a lot of patience. And that's pretty much it. Are we cool with the guidelines? Yeah? Yeah? All right. Okay. Cool. Ka-choo. All right, so my background, I've been DJing since 2007. I've been DJing for 16 years. I started in 2007 in college. I started on Newmark CDJs, using little burnt CDs from my roommate in the college dorm. That's how I started DJing, got into virtual DJ when I moved out, started learning the basic concept of, and I only had a laptop. I didn't have any gear. I was an asshole that pirated virtual DJ, and I just fucking learn how to DJ from there. And then I bought my own gear because I got comfortable enough and I wanted to do more with it. Got a few gigs. Joined a group called Mixterious in 2012. This group, Mixterious, is actually founded by Kendo and DJ Kubert. They took me along and they taught me all the shit that I know today. Not just scratching, but party rocking and understanding the crowd, reading the crowd, all that stuff. The years flew by. I mostly did IRL shit until I hit 2018. I joined VR Chat 2017, but my first VR Chat gig was 2018 in October at DDVR, and then now I'm here teaching all y'all. First, what I want you guys to do is follow this link that I'm going to provide right now. Give me a second. Chotto mate. Chotto fucking mate. Go to this website right now, tinyurl.com/WallyVR. You will have a file there to download. What's up? Are we good, Paul? Oh, I'll go over that. That's in the history part. So I'm gonna go over history while you guys go ahead and download this file. I want you guys to download this file and load it on your turntables right now if you can, because during this session today, we're actually gonna do a little Q&A. A Q&A is where I go first and then you go next, and I go first and you go next, etc., etc. So you could actually go side by side and actually scratch with me. So as you're downloading this file, I know people get bored of history, so I'm gonna go over this really quick. it's really good to know. Just if you start scratching IRL any gig, people have questions. You at least know some history. It's good to know. So I don't know if you guys know this, but scratching was actually invented by his Grand Wizard Theodore in 1975. This guy was he got home from school. This guy's like 13 years old. He's playing music way too loud, so his mama told him to turn it down. And as he turned it down, he held the record as so he could talk to his mom. And as he was holding the record, he was moving it back and forth, and he was like, "What the fuck is that shit?" He ended up creating the first scratch, and he thought, "Wow, this is cool. What can I do with it?" So, and ever since then, he took a month to practice scratching, and he did it at clubs. So that's how scratching was invented in 1975. Ever since then, people followed suit. Like, we're talking about Z-Trip, Mixmaster Mike, Rob Swift, Africa Bambaataa, Jazzy Zeph, and like the whole Zulu Nation. They all followed his suit and started scratching, and then that's how it became a part of DJ and hip hop culture. It started in 1975. Bigger names like ISP, which is the Invisible Scratch Pickles, like DJ Qbert, made a bigger thing about it. DJ Qbert is just cat from San Francisco. He took scratching to a whole nother level. I mean, people are still downloading the MP3. I know there's a hell of people here right now. I can't really find a different way to actually turn up the volume in here. So if you want to should we just try another world then? I'm like literally right next to it. Really? I'm I'm just gonna hold the mic like this then. Fuck it, because I had it on the thing, but I'm just gonna hold the mic like this. All right. So I'll go over it again. Scratching was invented in 1975 by Grand Wizard Theodore. He accidentally fucking just held the record as his mama told him to like turn it down, and then other people followed suit after him, and it was sick. It was revolutionary at the time for like DJing, because no one did that shit. People just like basically played track to track and all that stuff, you know. But going back into it, other people, you know, there's like different groups came along. D Styles made a group, Babu made a group. These are people from like New York, from LA, from Florida. They're just making different types of stuff. It's insane. Like ISP again, it's one of them, the Invincible Scratch Pickles, which consists of Mixmaster Mike, who's the DJ for the Beastie Boys, Apollo, and DJ Qbert. They basically created a fucking band with scratching. One guy was the drums, one guy was the horns, another guy was like a synth, and it was insane. But yeah, that's DJ Qbert. Like they were the first group to essentially let everyone know what they were doing. Back in the day in hip hop, people didn't want people to know what they were doing. People would hide their labels. People would keep secrecy. They were very open and spreading the knowledge. Exactly what I'm doing for you guys right now. That's why I think if I teach you guys, we could all evolve together. You guys could teach me some shit. That's why I'm doing this for you guys. So do you guys all have the file already? You guys got the download and everything? All right, cool. Let's show. All right. Next, hello. Hi, Kaza. I miss you. So yeah, again, be open about your techniques. Like, it's not really cool to hide stuff. Sure, you could do that, but you're kind of just being a dick at that point. Next, we're gonna go over setup and ergonomics. I know this is something that people really want to go over. Let's see here. That's the whole agenda, by the way. First, we're gonna go over setup. Make sure. Do you guys know what a crossfader curve is? Is there people here that don't know what that is? It's okay. It's okay to speak up too. Like, I'm not gonna give you shit. Okay. Oh, hey, it's Jay Rocco. What's up, man? Whatchamacallit? A crossfader curve is where, let's see here. I could change the camera. You could set this to have it at 100% right here, channel A, and then it'll immediately turn off as soon as you hit channel B to the right of the crossfader. Usually, the curve, especially for like EDM, if you move it all the way to the left, it'll gradually go up until it's the highest point. But for scratching, you want it to be like an exact cut. Let me show you an example. You hear that the sound comes up 100% rather than it just gradually comes up. So I'll turn the curve all the way to where it gradually comes up. Yeah, let me turn the light on. Give me a second. Okay. So again, your crossfader curve has to be all the way to the right rather than to the left. Let me see if I could show you guys right now. I wish I have a fucking picture, but I don't. So let's see here. So it's easier. I'm just gonna talk in VR for this one. Check 2 1 2. Okay, I'm just gonna talk in VR on this one. If you can look in the screen, this is your crossfader curve right here. It's normally like this for EDM DJs and whatnot. For scratching, you want this all the way to the right. So you could have that curve hit 100% as soon as you move it just a little bit. That's how you do cuts. That's how you fuck with scratching. Because like having it all the way to the left, it'll just, the volume would be so low here that it won't hit 100% until you're here. You won't be able to do any crabbing or any like crazy cuts with it. So make sure your curve is at 100% on the right. Right here. This is one of the main things. I know a lot of people don't have it on, like, let's say a controller or something. So check your software, whether you're using Tractor or Rekordbox or Serato. They do have settings. You just have to go through the settings. Unfortunately, I only have Serato, but most of the Serato stuff is done on the mixer itself. Correct. Yeah. So once you have your crossfader curve set to the right, the next thing you want to do is turn off keysync. You need to turn off keysync. That way you could actually have different sounds with it. By what I mean by different sounds is if you actually slow down the record, you could actually hear it go rather than the same key regardless of how fast or how slow you move it. Turn off keysync is one thing that you actually need to have set up as well. Once you turn off keysync, latency is also a really big issue. I know there's different latency settings for each program, but have it to the lowest latency as possible. And it's gonna have a lot of issues. I know a lot of people here stream and DJ and go on VR on the same computer, and it's gonna be a fat load on it. Giggity. But you need to understand that having the lowest latency helps with scratching in terms of having the exact movement rather than having like a millisecond delay would make a huge difference. So make sure your latency is set to like the lowest middle milliseconds possible through your settings. Whether again, Tractor, Serato, Virtual DJ, Rekordbox, it's all in there. Let's see. And I know Serato has this. I don't know if the other programs have it. Turn off quantization. If you're scratching, it's gonna be offbeat because you won't have it'll be on beat, but it won't sound clean because some scratches require you to be offbeat. So you need to turn off quantization. That's another feature that they added, and honestly, any support features added, turn it all off. That way, you can have the true feeling of scratching. Does anyone have any questions or are confused about any of the setup? You guys are feel free to ask me right now. Dun-dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun-dun. Is everyone good? Is everyone good? They kind of understand what's going on? Yeah? All right, cool. For sure. Next, I want to go over ergonomics. This is just like, again, a lot of people don't really go over this, but I'm a huge fan of ergonomics, whether if you're working or something. When you're first scratching, make sure that when your hands on the platter, that you at least have your arm and your elbow at 90 degrees as you're first scratching. You could go lower after that, but have your setup higher to what you normally do. Kind of like, you know how a guitarist has their guitar up hella high when they're doing crazy solos and whatnot? Same concept. Have your turntables a little bit higher than normal. Make sure your arm and your elbows at 90 degrees when you're scratching. This will give you the most dexterity going back and forth. So that's another thing. Let's see here. Sorry, I'm going like back and forth with my notes. This will also help with lower back pain, by the way. I got that shit sometimes, so that'll help. When you're actually scratching on your palm, make sure you're at between 9 and 7 o'clock on the platter. Have your hand right here. This will give you the most area to go back and forth. So, hold on, let me go move this real quick. Having it at 8, between 8 and 7 o'clock, or 9 and 7 o'clock is what most turntablists have it to where they're scratching. So this is the most area they could go, because you're usually pushing forward rather than pulling back most of the time. You're focusing more on pushing forward. So have your palm right here and whatever direction you have this at 12. So the one thing that I forgot to mention, because I didn't write this in my notes, you see where I have my face pointed up at 12? This is my visual cue. Some people use tape. Some people use stickers. Most of the time, if you have a needle, you'd probably focus on like where the needle is to like a dot or something on the platter. I'm not sure how it is with controllers since they're not rotating. I know some controllers have a digital marker where every time you have a hot cue, use that. That'll help you know where you are on the turntable. So, again, 12 o'clock, and then at 12 o'clock on the platter so you can visualize it. That's how I always do it. Hit the cue point, and then going back and forth between 7, as your palm is at 7 and 8 o'clock. And in terms of your hands, it really depends on what you want to. It's all user preference, how you want your palm to be on the turntable. What I mean by that is I usually use my middle finger, my index finger, and my ring finger for most of the functions. I don't really use my pinky and thumb a lot. Some people do, but again, it's user preference and how you want that. I've had conversations with a lot of DJs about this, but again, it's all trial and error, and then you can figure it out from there. Relaxation. Let's see, what else do I have here? When you're scratching, when you have that certain position, let me see if I could show you myself here. Oh no, hold on. No, I had to reset it. I don't know. Sometimes I'm using a fucking GoPro. I have to reset it once in a while. It sucks. When you're scratching, make sure that whatever platter side that you're closer to the platter that you're on. I guess I don't know how to say it like in layman's terms, but your position of your body. Make sure your back straight. Your palm and your elbow are at 90 degrees, and you're scratching properly, or like right here, closer to which turntable you're using. If you're comfortable with scratching with your left hand, you're over here. Right hand, obviously, closer over here. So again, ergonomics position matters a lot because that'll give you more dexterity, and it'll give you like back problems and shit. Like that's something that I really endorse because I mean, for me, I'm getting old, dude. Another thing is a lot of people do this when they first start scratching, when they have their hands kind of like a claw. Don't do that. Have it somewhat flat. You're mostly moving your elbow rather than your hand. You're pushing with your elbow and with your arm, and you're pulling back with your arm. Like, don't do this. This will create a lot of bad habits. Use your arm to push the record back and forth. And I think that's pretty much it in terms of setup and ergonomics. Does anyone have any questions or concerns? I know he had a question in terms of quantization. Oh, yeah. Quantization is a new feature they added in Serato to where, let's say you accidentally tap on beat, it'll automatically shift the song or beat on beat to the specific beat grid. So like if I fucked up in tapping, it'll move the song to where it's supposed to be. That's what I mean by quantization. That shit sucks. Don't use it. It's I don't want to talk shit. It's kind of a bitch move, but don't use quantization. It's lame. Like it really prevents a lot of creativity, and you fucking barely scratch on that. So don't use quantization. So for now, let's go over for now, let's go over 3 scratches. I'm only going to teach you 3 basic scratches because I do not want to overwhelm any of you guys. If I overwhelm you guys are going to try all this crazy shit, and then your scratching is going to suck because you need to learn the basics first. And again, these concepts and techniques take months to master. Took me 2-3 years to learn a 2-click flare. So just please have some patience. Everyone have their MP3s loaded in their software and their controllers in front of them, right? All right, let's go ahead and do this shit. So if you notice with the MP3, I already hotkeywed everything for you guys. We're gonna use the first sample, which is an ah. If you I'm so sorry. If you have Serato, it's set. If you don't, tough shit. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay. Okay, I didn't know that. I only use Serato. So again, also another thing that I need to add, don't use index controllers when you're first learning. It's gonna suck. Do not use index controllers when you're first learning. So I'm gonna put this down. I'm gonna look weird in VR, but deal with it. So the baby scratch. Your fader has to be open. You're not using anything with the fader. This is the most basic scratch. All you're really doing is going back and forth, back and forth. All right, I'm gonna say that one more time. The first scratch that I'm gonna teach you is called the baby scratch. You're leaving your crossfader open. You're not even utilizing the crossfader at all, and all you're doing is going back and forth with the platter, as so. That's the baby scratch. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. That's all it is with the baby scratch. The reason why you need to learn this first is you need to learn how to have control on the platter, whether you're using a CDJ or a controller or shit, even a vinyl record. All right, we're gonna try this again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's try to do this over a beat. Let me see if we can find a beat. I didn't even prep anything just because I've been so fucking busy with gigs and work. But let's see here, shall we? This one's good, actually. I like this beat. We're gonna start slow. We're actually gonna start slow. We're gonna start at like 85 BPM, if that's cool with you guys. 87. So if you don't mind, so just follow what I do. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do 4 beats first, and then 4 bars first, and then you guys are gonna do 4 bars. So after I stop, you guys go. We're gonna go back and forth for like as so long as you need to. Just follow what I do. There will be tempo changes, and then there will be different ways that I'm actually doing the baby scratch. So just follow what I do, going back and forth. And again, patience is the key. Now it's your turn. Go. 3, 4, 1, 2. Your turn. Remember to not put so much pressure. Remember to be very light on your platter or vinyl record. We're going a little faster right now. It's all the same. Remember to stay between 9 and 7 o'clock. We'll try this again, but a little bit faster. Release at the end of the very last part. All right, one more time. Okay. By doing that, you'll understand how to actually feel and control the record itself or controller, whatever you're using. I know it's very basic, but that alone is something you guys need to practice for months before learning anything else. Again, very, very basic, But there's so many different variations you could do with the baby scratch. Like, you don't just have to do like on beat the whole time. You can be that alone is just a baby scratch. There's no crossfader needed. You're just going back and forth. There's so many different patterns you could do with it. But again, you need to learn control rather than doing it. Again, be very light on the platter. Make sure your palm is somewhat folded in this way rather than like crunched up like this. This will cause stupid issues. I don't know how to really explain it. Yeah, be light. Have your palm down. Be between 9 o'clock and 7 o'clock over here. This will give you like the motion all the way back. See that? Does anyone have any questions in regards to the baby scratch? We could go over it again if you guys want to. I'm not sure if I was going too fast for you guys, but I need to know because I've never taught a class before in my life. What's up? Oh. What's up, Paul? I'm right. So Paul was asking where I usually start the scratch for the people watching this VOD. So it depends on the scenario. Usually when I'm having a scratch session, I like to use the beginning of the sample or the part of the song. Depending on the song, sometimes you see me when I'm doing transitions, it's going to be in the middle of a track or the middle of a song because I'm just fucking with whatever I have in the previous song to move on to the next one. But for the most part, start in the beginning because you want that empty noise in the beginning before doing anything else, as you see my platter. That's because if you just do this, you notice by doing that, it's not in the middle of you're using the middle of the sample. It's gonna sound like shit. The reason being, when you're first starting, you want to use the beginning part of the sample just so you can get that cut. The whole point is having that cut. So compare this. You can still hear that wobble at the end. You know, you can still hear the wobble and the other noise. In the beginning of the sample, you have that cut without having to use any crossfader work, you know? So again, it depends on the scenario. I sometimes use the middle of this the sound just because let's say I'm fucking with a song and then there was a vocal part that had no beats. So I'm fucking with that vocal part back and forth doing some cuts or whatever, right? For the most part, when you're beginning, yes, use the beginning of the sound until you get comfortable enough to use the middle. Like the wally noise that I use is in the middle because the fucking beginning, that whole sample is just him saying wah in the beginning. So I'm just trying to get him saying wally. So yes, it takes practice to learn it in terms of having when to start a sample, or when to start in the middle of the sample. But my VR chat is lagging, and I don't know if I'm dying, and I'm back. Cool, for sure. Okay, so yeah. Again, so to answer your question, for now, use the beginning of the sample rather than the middle part or something like that. Any other questions about the baby scratch? Oh, hi, Akuma. What's up, man? How you doing? Don't be shy. You know, I'm here to help you guys. So I don't even know if I'm doing a good job teaching you guys right now, but I'm kind of just going with the flow. What? Okay. You're in trouble, Kabu. You have. I'm making you write a book report now because you're late. I'm just kidding. Okay. Oh, somebody had a question? Are we good? No, we're good. Okay. So. The next scratch is called a tear. I'm horrible at these. I'm so shit with these. It's where you make three sounds you make multiple sounds with the crossfader open. I'll show you an example really slow. So it's basically a forward. There's two different types of tears: a forward tear and a reverse tear. So I'll show you the forward tear first. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I'll go slower. I think I was going too quick, but let's try that again. You get the idea. You're going forward. You're stopping in the middle of the first push, and then you're going forward even more. You're pulling back all the way. That's what a tear is. A reverse tear, you push forward all the way, and then you stop in between the reverse. As you can tell, I'm horrible with these tears. I barely use them, but I still need to practice them more. But this is part of the vinyl control, what I'm talking about with baby scratching versus tears. So again, like 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Reverse tear. Forward, tear. Reverse tear. Those are the two type of tears you would learn, because you could do a baby to a tear. There's different variations and different patterns you could pull off during the middle of a set or a scratch session. But yes, that's what basically a tear is. We're gonna do this again. We're gonna go through a track and just do the same shit. So, does anyone have any questions or kind of confused on what I'm talking about, or are we good to go? We're good? All right, for sure. What's up? You're always going the first action, regardless of a reverse or a forward tear. You're always starting forward. So it'll be like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and a reverse. Like the difference between the forward and the reverse tear is where you're actually making the two beats. With the forward, you're going 1, 2, right, and then one whole beat in the reverse. With a reverse tear, you're going forward in front, and then 2 backwards. So again, forward tear. Oh, I fucked up. Forward tear, and then reverse tear. Essentially, it's gonna be 3 beats that you're making, 3 sounds, 3 different sounds. What's up? Funny enough, I actually started scratching on a DDJ SX. So yes, unfortunately, it's a lot harder. It's because the fact that you have less, like a smaller radius, you're bound to like make more errors. But gradually, how I had to deal with it. I mean, you just use 2 fingers in that case, 2 fingers, and then like your index finger on the side of the platter, kind of to have more control. Because from what I know, it's most of the controllers have kind of like those holes like a CDJ, right? So what you could do is use that to your advantage and grip it on the side, kind of like where I have my hand right now. You can. It's kind of a bad habit though, from what I was told back in the day. So it's again. So your finger and hand placement is all user preference. All right. So right now we'll do a beat with the tear, and then we'll move on to the last one. But just let me know if you have again. We'll do forwards for now, and then I'll let you know we'll do back tears. Thank you. Hey, what's up, Dark Hunter? This guy's sick, by the way. If you guys don't know Dark Hunter, he's a dope scratcher. I don't know why the fuck he's in here, but he's dope as fuck. He's actually really good. I seen him. Like, he's really cool. You should follow him. I'm trying to get him DJing VR, but he's dope. People watching the vlogs be like, "Huh, what the fuck's going on?" All right, let's do this. I'll do 4 beats. I'll do 4 bars, and then you do 4 bars. Forward tears for now. Remember, be light on your controller or record. I'll try to go slower right now, actually. I think I'm moving too fast for you guys. Reverse tears. Forward, back, back. Forward, back, back. We're going to go back to forward tears, but a little bit faster, like how you heard. Tears now, so we're going back to reverse but faster. See, as you can tell, I'm not that great, but you know, it's like practice. This is why we're all here, right? We're all practicing together. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. One, two, three. So that is the tear. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the tear. You guys know babies and tears now, but normally I would stop like actually teaching right now because I would rather have you guys focus on those for the next month. You're obviously not gonna learn it. Oh, check, 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 check. Thank you. Okay, so that is the forward. So you guys learn tears and babies. Normally, I would rather stop now because you need to practice this. But since I'm not doing a lot of sessions because I don't know how this is gonna go, I don't know what the feedback is gonna be like. We're gonna move on to another one, but those two are your main things you should practice scratching for the next month. Again, this is going to take forever to learn. You notice I still suck in my tears, but at the same time, like I still practice. It's a lot about control, and I know it's harder on the CDJ, especially on controllers, but it's possible. It doesn't matter what you're using. It's totally possible to do it. Like I've seen fucking Angelo go crazy on tiny ass reloops, but like again, that's a different story. You could totally do it on any controller as long as they have like that touch thing, you know, where like you touch it and the record stops on top. Like make sure that's on too. I should have talked about that a long time ago. That's my fault. But yes, practice those two scratches consistently. It'll take you a long time to sound good in terms of using it. I also heard someone saying, who was the one that asked, can you do that with any song? Like I was like, who said that? I was just wondering, just so I could answer that question. Someone said that? Technically, yeah. So the thing is, you don't. No, you're good. Pagan Gold. Did I pronounce that correctly? Pagan. 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 You could technically do it in any song, yeah. But one of the key thing is you also realize that you're gonna have an audience in front of you listening to everything that you're doing. You don't want to just keep on spamming like a scratch the whole time, like over a song where there's lyrics happening, for example, you know, like you'd be like, let's say we're listening to Zed and like Clarity, like you just doing this the whole fucking time. Oh, if I wanna tell you anyway, you might. It sounds like shit. You know, you don't want to do that. You want to do like how I do it, at least, is during breaks when there's like instrumentals only, and I try not to do it for so long. Like sometimes you see me really drunk in VR and I kind of just go off and do my own thing. Don't really follow that. You need to like remember that you have an audience in front of you. Sometimes a lot of these people don't want to hear scratches. They just want to hear the track, you know? Like it's a whole concept of like you're playing music for people, you know? You're not trying to show off or anything. I just like doing it just because it's fun to me. But yeah, to answer your question, yes, you could do it to any song, but it's like spamming the A button. You don't want to do that, you know. You want to have a consistent flow. And the best metaphor I could say about scratching, it's like rapping over a track. Think about the flow that you have with your rap. You don't want to sound like a mumble rapper. No, you want to have a specific flow to your own style, and you want to sound clean. You want to sound funky. You want to sound clean, and you want to have a consistent flow. Those are the best scratches that I've seen. I've seen people could do crazy ass shit, but it just sounds like noise at this point, man. Like you don't want to do that. So again, focus on your baby scratches and your tears. That'll like I should technically stop now, but since again there's a lot of people here, I don't know how many times I'm going to do this. I'm going to teach you one more scratch that actually utilizes the crossfader. What's up? Oh, okay, cool. Thanks. Does anyone else have any questions? Is everyone doing all right? You know, are you guys having a good time? Are you guys bored? You guys like this shit? All right, cool. Yeah, for sure. I was sure. Actually, fuck it. Yeah. We'll start that later. I'll talk about that later. But we're not done yet. I just want to make sure everyone's here, just chilling. We're gonna learn one more scratch. Headphones for combo. Nyong. Hi combo. Hi yo. We're gonna learn something. Ironically enough, we're gonna learn something called the stab. Like the stab. Okay, so the stab scratch requires you to use a crossfader. Let me. I'm gonna put my controllers down. So I'm gonna look weird in VR, but it doesn't matter. So in order to perform the stab, you want to start again at the beginning point of your sample. So again, have it at 12 o'clock. Have your hot cue at 12 o'clock. Hand platter here between 9 and 7. And then by doing a stab, you open up the crossfader, like from the closed position to open, and then you cut it right away so you don't hear the reverse. I'm going to do it several times for you. Again, open up, have an open fader where you're pushing forward on the sample, and before you reverse, or even a little bit earlier before you reverse, close the fader all the way to the right so you don't hear shit. And then you reverse the platter back to its normal position at 12 o'clock. Again. That's the stab. So we'll try it over music. Does anyone have any questions about the stab before I continue? Before I stab myself in the ass? I had no sleep this week. I had to work 5 to 8, 8 or 9 to 5. I'm tired. I'm gonna drink some coffee. Give me 2 seconds. I have this caramel macchiato. It's fucking delicious. All right, let's do it over a track, shall we? Double timing right now. This will be a little bit faster. Just follow what I do. At the end, just release it. Don't even as you push at the end, that's your release. Go do it again, but slower, like the beginning. Remember, you don't want to hear any noise when you pull back the record. Close it right away after the front push.
I'm back to double time. Consistent, don't stop. Do that one more time. That is the stab. Remember, with the stab, you have to pull back when you're pulling back the record. Remember to shut off the music right away. You want to cut the noise on the crossfader with that. That's your first crossfader trick you're gonna learn. Different ways to apply this to music. Actually, I have a question. Somebody actually sent me. Can you scratch the house music? Hell yeah. Why the fuck not? Given vocals and samples? Oh yeah. Dude, so y'all know who Laid Back Luke is, right? Everyone here knows who fucking Laid Back Luke is. Like an old ass EDM motherfucker. He does that shit. He does a lot of turntablism to EDM and house and all that stuff. So yes, it's totally possible. You have an instrumental that's a house track. You could totally use like a vocal that, like, let's say like you have a vocal that has the same key of the house track you're playing and you're trying to make a live mashup, right? Hell yeah, you could do that. You could use that to scratch it in. You could tease people by fucking it with the beginning and then actually dropping the song or the vocal that matches whatever you're doing. That looks hella weird. You don't see what I see, but that looks hella weird. I'm sorry. Fucking Kampu and Paul. Sorry. That threw me off. Yeah, so to answer your question, Isakarius, yes. Where do you go? Well, yeah, you could totally use. Oh, he's right there. You could totally use vocals to a house track, given that it sounds clean. So another thing to add, you can't scratch everything all the time. It is possible to scratch any track in any song and make it sound clean. But again, it's like spamming the A button when you're playing fucking Tekken. Don't do it all the time. People are here to listen to music. They don't want to hear scratching all the time. And also, if you do want to start scratching during a set, please remember, practice before doing it live. You want to sound clean. You want to be consistent and have a good flow. Another way, moving on to how to apply this during sets. Breakdowns, let's say there's like a breakdown after a drop where it has like a trap beat. Perfect time to do a scratch session. It'll be like a consistent, you're playing a song, it's 128 BPM, consistent uns, 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 then it goes into like boons, boons. That would be the best time to do like a scratch session, for example, because again, it's hip-hop, same shit. Like that would be a cool way to like show off or whatever, like what new tricks that you learn. And again, it's like you could have fun with it. There's other ways to apply it. You guys, I'm pretty sure DJ'd before with tracks with no intros that have a vocal that doesn't really start on beat, but it starts the beginning of a track, or like let's say like one or two beats before the actual bar starts or something. That would be the best way to scratch. I don't have any examples right now. I kind of wish I took time to do it, but an example for scratching in a track during a transition is having a song with no intro. It's the best way because what you could do is just fucking quick drop that bitch. You could just drop it all the way after doing the scratch, drop it immediately. You don't have to like have a transition in between that. Just drop it. As long as it's on beat and it sounds clean, you could scratch that part of a song, then just drop the song in. That's one of the other ways that I apply this to real sets and whatnot. Let's see here. What was I gonna say about the new Beyonce house song? Okay. I forgot what that sounded like. Anyways, any questions, concerns, different controllers, or different gear to have? While I'm here. Yeah, that's advanced when you're learning different scratches, but I could totally teach you that if you want to see it. So Crossfire Ergonomics. Oh yeah. I should have fucking talked about that. I am so sorry. Yeah, damn, I'm a shitty teacher. Yeah. So again, so what he's talking about is you could depending on how you like it, you could reverse your crossfader if you like pushing it in here or pushing it out here. So I'm reversing the crossfader now. So you can't hear anything even though it's all the way to the left, but if I push it out here, you'll hear it, even if I go all the way to the right. So different ways to do stabs would be like this, for example. You're pushing out. So that's a hamster. It just basically depends. It's all user preference. I recommend actually trying the hamster because maybe you'll be better at it. Maybe you'll be better at doing hamster than regular, or you're better at reverse crossfader than regular crossfader. So if you have that feature, whether it's on the software or on the controller, I highly recommend trying that because you'll never know unless you try. Like, oh, I like this better. The best way to explain it is you ever play Halo and then you have that fucker that plays inverted. The same exact concept. Like if maybe you're better at inverted. I don't know. Like it depends. Again, it's all user preference. So yes, I'm putting it back to regular because I don't really use reverse. Ergonomics for crossfader. I always leverage my thumb a lot. What I mean by that is, let's say I'm doing like a crab. I'm using the pressure against my thumb to move against the how I'm tapping on my fingers. Again, I'm not supposed to teach you guys this now. I want you guys to focus on the other scratches first. But again, most of the time I'm using my middle finger and my thumb to do basic scratches, whether I'm doing a stab or any other things like chirps. Again, my middle, it's the reason why I use my middle finger. Your middle finger is the longest finger. It is? Yeah. Why do I have to think about that? Your middle finger is the longest finger, so you have more room to actually use it. So, I mean, maybe you're different. Maybe you like using your index finger. Hubert likes using his index finger. I like using my middle finger. Again, it's yeah. Okay. Oh, okay, cool. For sure. Yeah. So, again, it's all user preference. So, when you're stab. I'm gonna stab you later tonight, Paul. Okay. Anyways, no, yeah, dude. Again, that's a very good question. Like ergonomics, depending on how you want to do it. Yes, I use my middle finger. Some people use their index finger. Some people like using all of them. It depends. You could alternate. But yeah. Any other questions? Besides Wolfisan. Oh, I got a DM. I think that's a question. Nope, just a track. I'll look at that later. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So, what I again like the way different ways to apply it during a set. Again, during breakdowns of an EDM track, or even the intro of a song. Maybe you're transitioning a song, and then you have an intro of the song that you're throwing in. So you could go ahead and scratch the chorus if you want to. I do that sometimes. But for now, please, 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 please focus on your baby scratches and your tears. You need to focus on record control first before doing like fucking like 2 quick flares and all this crazy ass shit. You don't want to do any of that stuff now. You want to do that later, because once you figure out record control, you could do all that crazy shit by just baby scratching. It's insane. Like, it's insane what else you could do with that. So yes, please focus on your baby scratches and tears, stabs too. But again, I would still wait off the stabs until you guys are comfortable enough to apply a baby scratch or a tear in the middle of a set. Uh, that's pretty much it, actually. Shit, how long did it take? Almost 2 hours. All right. If you guys have any additional questions or concerns, you guys are more than welcome to join my Discord. I already have a Scratch channel in there just for people that have any questions. If you want to record yourself and you want me to review and see what you need help getting better at, record yourself with a fucking IRL camera and show me. I could totally help you. My Discord is in my bio. If you click on me, my bio, my link tree is in there. Then in that link tree is the Discord channel. So you all are more than welcome to join. If people enjoy this, if I get enough feedback, you guys I would like I'm not getting paid for any of this, so it'd be cool if you could like shout me out on Twitter about this class, give me feedback, whether if you like it or hate it. Like, I would like to know, because I'm a blunt ass motherfucker myself. Again, just give me feedback. If after a month, I wouldn't even do this next week. I would wait about 1 month or 2 months before the next session, just so you guys are comfortable enough. That way, once we do that, we can figure out how to watch each individual here do like a quick session, a quick 4 bars or a quick 8 bars, and we'll all take turns. Like, once we figure that out, that'd be sick, you know? But yeah, that's pretty much it. My recommendation for a budget is is it called the Reloop Buddy or Reloop Ready? What is this shit called? It's the Ready. The Buddy is the one that connects with the iPad. Yeah, that's the iPad one. Yeah. Get the Reloop Ready. It's insane. You could scratch on it. You could do basic stuff on it. It has literally every fucking thing you need. I know most people go for the DDJ 400 or the SR2 or all of that. Literally, the Reloop Ready has everything you need. It's insane. They don't. It does not get enough credit. I would love to show you guys like a video on. Actually, can I show you guys a video on it on this? I think it's like 350. 380. Tree Eddie. It's all right. The Rev 1's all right. I actually fucked with the Rev 7. No, I seen it. So yeah, no, I seen it. So, like, I guess moving forward, if you do have the money and you want to get into this, you could do what Dark Hunter did. You could get Rain 12s, which is like the MIDI vinyl. I do not recommend picking up like PLX 1000s or Techniques or any of that until you're like really, really, really committed. It's way too. Yeah, do not pick up 1200s first. Get like I recommend, if you really want to have the feel of vinyl while it's playing. Highly recommend the DDJ Rev 7. I use that at a club. It's fucking awesome. Or even the Newmark NS7, NS7 2, NS7 3, whatever version they're on. Like, motorized platters are dope. My first controller was an NS7 actually. I'm sorry. What's up, Dark Hunter? Oh yeah, that's right. This is a rain guy. It's so rainy. What's up, Pagan? Oh yeah. Mm, no, actually, that's again, it's a subjective. Kind of subjective though. I mean, regardless if it doesn't matter for VR chat or whatnot. Yeah, because again, if you never DJ'd before, but then you've actually have experience with DJing and you want to get something, I honestly recommend the Relive Ready. The Relive Ready is the shit. Yeah. Oh, there you go. It's again, that's all user preference, man. Cause like honestly, it's like, do you guys like Honda? Do you guys like Subaru better? Do you guys like Toyota better? It's like, dude, that's all subjective at that point. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Um, again, follow my Discord if you want to come. Everyone here could add me if they want. And that's pretty much it. My name is DJ Wally. Shout out to Onoma-san for letting us use this map. Shout out to Isakuris for organizing this event. Shout out to Paul for being a sexy ass beast. And shout out to Mysterious who taught me everything I knew. If again we'll do another class if you guys actually enjoyed this next month. Again, give me a shout out on Twitter, post it, some shit, talk about the class. It'll be nice to get some momentum on this. I'm doing this all for you guys. I could have charged all y'all motherfuckers, but I'm not. You know, that's how much I love you guys. So, shit. Hold on. Shit.